Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and today we've got the Pokemon trainer Marley going up against the Subway boss Ingo. Back in round 1, I believe we saw Ingo take a 2-0 lead over... I don't remember. Doesn't matter because they're stuck in round 1 now. But as we've seen back in round 1, Ingo's got the Mega Alakazam, as Marley has the only Mega Sceptile in the tournament. Definitely not because I forgot about it and made changes to it, but once these trainers are ready, we can begin match 84, I think it is. Marley sending out the Aerodactyl, Ingo sending out the Magnezone. That Magnezone's got the air balloon, keeping it off the ground. Switching out to the Sceptile, taking a Thunderbolt for 51% and getting paralyzed. Very unlucky for that Sceptile. Sceptile going for that Dragon Dance, getting the speed boost and the attack boost, but falling to Magnezone's Tri-Attack. This thing currently untouched. Marley sending out the Arcanine here. That Intimidate's going to lower Magnezone's attack. It's not going to be useful. Switching out to the Gliscor, taking about a quarter from that Crunch. And that Toxic Orb is going to activate. Marley switching out to the Aerodactyl. A crit Stone Edge will take out that Aerodactyl in one hit. Marley sending out the Starmie, her third Pokemon. Waterfall is going to deal 56%. X-Scissors is going to deal 72% to that Starmie. And Waterfall will finish off that Gliscor. And Ingo's lost his first Pokemon now. Ingo sending out the Tangrowth. Flip turn, gonna do 8% and getting Starmie out of there. Switching into that Arcanine, getting the Intimidate drop. Ancient Power is gonna deal 54% to Arcanine. Switching out to the Machamp, taking a Flare Blitz for 62% and getting burned. Probably from the Flame Orb. Another Flare Blitz does take it out, and the recoil finishes off that Arcanine. It's currently 3v4 right now. Marley sending out that Raikou. Not the first one in the tournament, but I believe currently the only one left, I think. Shadow Ball can deal over half to Tangrowth. Sludge Bomb is going to deal under a quarter to Raikou. Another Sludge Bomb does, Shadow Ball does take out that Tangrowth. And Ingo sends out Probopass. Raikou going for Shadow Ball, dealing about 18%. Earth Power is going to do a third to Raikou, but his Citrus Berry heals it up to 53%. Thunderbolt's dealing still under a third to Probopass. Power Gem's going to do about a quarter. These two are slowly whittling each other down, though Earth Power does finally take out that Raikou. Marley sending out the Starmie. Starmie is a very fast Pokemon, so it should be able to outspeed this Probopass here. Flip Turn does take out the Probopass and switches into Weavile as Ingo sends out Magnezone. Still with that air balloon. Fake Out is going to pop it though. Marley sending out the Starmie as it falls to that Flash Cannon. Marley's left with just that Weavile. Go for another Fake Out flinch. getting as much chip damage as it can. Night Slash can deal 31%. Flash Cannon does take out the Weavile. And game number 1 goes to Ingo. You know, getting it close, but we still haven't seen that Alakazam. We didn't see much from Machamp. We didn't see really anything from that Aerodactyl. Not much from the Sceptile. But everything else, I think we've seen just a little bit from. We are back on the field for game number 2, and once these trainers are ready, we can see if Ingo will take another 2-0 victory. Leading off with that Machamp as Marley leads off with that Sceptile. Didn't want to make the same mistake as last game. Mega Evolving into that Mega Sceptile. Dragon Pulse going to deal over half, but Ice Punch takes out the Sceptile immediately. Marley sending out the Weavile. Probably going to go for that Fake Out. But Marley will have to watch out for Machamp's Bullet Punch. Go for Ice Shard getting 20% off. Bullet Punch going to deal 3/4 to Weavile. And Ice Shard does take out the remaining 2% on Machamp. And it is currently 5v5 right now. Ingo sending out that Probopass. Weavile going for a Night Slash, getting a quarter done to it. Power Gym is going to take out the Weavile. And Starmie is replacing that Weavile. Waterfall going to deal 43% and get the Flinch on it. Switching out to that Tangrowth. Waterfall going to deal 13.8 and Tangrowth heals just about half of that back thanks to its leftovers. Tangrowth, not a fun Pokemon for Starmie to face. Goes for the Avalanche. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an Avalanche on Starmie. Getting the Sleep Powder to land finally and putting that Starmie to sleep. Tangrowth going for Ancient Power, no boost yet. Avalanche, now that it's been hit, deals over half to Tangrowth. Dazzling Gleam gonna do a quarter to Tangrowth, leaving it on 8% as Energy Ball takes out Starmie, and Raikou takes Starmie's place here. Starting up those Calm Minds. Sludge Bomb's gonna deal a quarter and get the poison. It's gonna heal, or it's gonna get hurt 12% every turn. Shadow Ball does take out that Tangrowth. And Ingo sends out that Probopass, but switches to the Gliscor, baiting that Thunderbolt. Gliscor getting that Toxic from the Toxic Orb. Extra Sensory gonna do half to Gliscor, get flinched, but heals up a little bit as Raikou gets damaged. Stone Edge unfortunately misses at Raikou. At 20%, sometimes feels like 100. Shadow Ball does finish off that Gliscor. Raikou is currently down to about a quarter of health here. Ingo sending out the Probopass here. It's currently 3v3 right now. Thunderbolt's gonna bring it down to 2%. Earth Power does finish off that Raikou. And Marley sends out that Arcanine. Most likely will finish off this Probopass here. It is probably the closest it's been all match. Going into turn 20 with 2v2. Ingo bringing out that Alakazam, which we haven't seen until now. and Mega Evolving, tracing the Intimidate. Without that Intimidate, that Flare Blitz would have taken out that Alakazam. A second one does take out the Alakazam. Arcanine's left on 6% as Magnezone comes out here. Flare Blitz gonna deal 3/4 to Magnezone, popping that balloon, but the recoil does take out the Arcanine. And it's just Arcanine or Aerodactyl versus Magnezone. Earthquake takes out the Magnezone, and Marley takes game 2. We saw more from that Sceptile, we saw more from the Alakazam, and more from that Aerodactyl. We are back on the field for game number 3. And once these trainers are ready, we can see just which trainer is going to be going on to round 3. Ingo leading off with that Magnezone, Marley leading off with that Starmie. Starmie going for that flip turn, getting out of there into the Raikou, as Magnezone goes for Thunderbolt, dealing over 1/3 to that Raikou. Raikou setting up Calm Minds. Another Thunderbolt brings it down to, well, it's right back up to 63%. Like nothing happened. Flash Cannon gonna deal 22%. Shadow Ball brings Magnezone down to 2%. Tri Attack brings it down to 10%, and another Shadow Ball finishes off that Magnezone. Raikou's sitting on 10% health right now. Ingo sending out the Machamp here. Bullet Punch does take out that Raikou. And its Flame Orb does activate. Marley sends out that Starmie, which was seen to have a Dazzling Gleam. Ingo switching out to the Probopass. Dazzling Gleam going to deal about 5% to Probopass. Barely anything. Waterfall, super effective, going to deal 46%. Thunderbolt's going to deal over 3/4 to Starmie. Another Thunderbolt does finish off Starmie, as Probopass is left on 5% right now. Marley sending out the Sceptile. We haven't seen quite a lot from this thing. We saw it has Dragon Dance, which it does go for. Power Gem is going to deal 41% to Sceptile. Giga Drain finishes off that Probopass. Ingo sending out the Tangrowth here. Dragon Pulse going to deal 3/4 to Tangrowth, as Slush Bomb finishes off that Sceptile. Tangrowth at about 1/4 of health right now. Marley's got 3 Pokemon left: Arcanine, Aerodactyl, and Weavile. Marley sends out that Arcanine, getting the attack drop on Tangrowth. Not going to do much since it's special. Flare Blitz gonna finish off that Tangrowth, dealing 12% to Arcanine. It's currently 3v3, even once more. Ingo sending out the Gliscor here. Flare Blitz gonna deal 56% to Gliscor. Stone Edge takes Arcanine down to 7%. And Gliscor gets that Toxic from the Toxic Orb. If Arcanine goes for Flare Blitz, there's a pretty good chance that the recoil will take it out. Go for a Flare Blitz, taking out the Gliscor, and Arcanine at 2 falls. It's now down to 2v2. Aerodactyl and Gliscor up against Alakazam and Machamp. Sending out the Machamp, and Marley sends out that Aerodactyl. Bullet Punch with a crit takes out the Aerodactyl. Forget whatever I said. That was the perfect thing for the champ. Getting that RNG manipulation. Sending out the Weavile here. Marley's last Pokemon. Going for that fake out, getting that free damage in. The champ down to 3/4 of health right now. Weavile's gonna want any crit it can get. Bullet Punch gonna take it down to 3/4. Nice Slash gonna do 20%. Ice Shard's gonna do another 22%, and Bullet Punch finishes off that Weavile. Ingo takes game number 3, which means he moves on to round 3, where he will be going up against, let me find it real quick, he'll be going up against Clara, the winner of match 52, who beats Cinia. So thank you so much for watching, and join us tomorrow where we will be seeing the opponent gym leader Marley going up against the Hall Matron Argenta. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.